EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Now Ballage. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 54 yards. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0.
Makes the score Lions 7, Broncos nothing. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
At the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch a slap. Watch a slap. Watch a slap. Get it.
Now Locke throwing on second down. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Set, ready, 18, Gator. Bam. Ready.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. On second down, here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you bring some doubt in their minds.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
They'll run here with Lindsey, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Go. 8 read. Twist on the travel. Ready?
Locked to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end Fant. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Noah Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yep.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And taken right on the 30. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
General West.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he gets it down to the 32. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play.
Down. 70, Indy.
Locke now on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Let's bring it. 14, Broncos 7.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Get it.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's put that team on the clock. Look, squeeze.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet.
It's been a long day for you. 40's the Lions. Squeeze.
Lock now on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrett Davis. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Check. You know it. Ready?
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
734. Watch the curl. Hey, Alpha.
On second down and 4. Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the...
And he's going to go down again. Von Miller in there for a big milestone in this game. That's sack number 198 of his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer Reggie White for 2nd place all time. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7. Lock. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
152 fighter.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Lock. He'll let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions' 25.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the sackmaster, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Philip Lindsay, the intended target. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. 9. Hey, high 7.
Carr now to throw. Caught by Jones. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Balazs. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's a run with Balazs. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Third down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. They'll try to run this one in. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal.
Slide. No. Later 2. Check 49. Check 31. Check 31. Tight dog. Pilot, 64. Weak.
They'll try and run with Balazs. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kalen Balazs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Will Harris. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Watch the edge. Shoot. You're mine.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he's got the hook up to Landry. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Down. 29. Danny. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. I got OP.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He's going to let it go deep, and that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jarvis Landry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lock. And now here is another interception. It's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's 2nd down.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Lock to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Clock now to throw. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here we go on 4th down with Lock. Open man is heard. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Hey, foxtrot.
On 1st and 10, here's Lock. This is the tight end fan. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Lock going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. So that'll get him the 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Lock now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrett Davis. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Lock. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Deshaun Hand picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On third and long, it's Locke. He'll give this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Smooth.
Now Carr. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
A gain of 8 and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
93. Come on, the ball.
Here's Carr. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Balaj. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Brings up fourth down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Hey, 734. White. Express.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though,
it's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They run it with Balazs. Big hold of the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Again, it's Balazs. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
6-18. Hey, wahoo!
Throwing now is Carr. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right? And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Will Harris. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. And that one one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Block working out of the gun. And his throw is incomplete. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. Into the red zone, it's Locke. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jalen Hurd, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick.
Keep playing hard.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mike 40, check, he's coming.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Deshaun Hand able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Now Locke. Catch is made by Hurd. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Locke to throw for it on 4th. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. In for the score. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
What down? 180. 808.
Hey. Mike 5. Let's go, D.
Well, Dumbo.
Check your hot read. Slam.
Yo, Chief. Go. 282.
Carr going to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
17 yards. 1st down, Detroit.
Carr now on 1st down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Mike 5. Watch the pass. Here we go.
Later one.
To throw, it's Carr. That's going to be caught, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will shave one more off this lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And it'll be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
Intercepted. Bottom of the lane. These guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, the loss here.